but the worry that we're going to create cartels. To retail, to manufacturing, to labs. We have joined a broad coalition in opposition to this trailer bill language. Basically, the governor has chosen the most deregulatory approach that he can to marijuana. Nothing in Prop 64 required that the medical marijuana statute you passed be repealed, as this does in its entirety. In fact, it's cross-referenced numerous times. It's integrated into Prop 64. So we think it's the wrong approach. And let me give you a couple of examples. We talked a lot about vertical integration. The reason why the legislature went with the system it went with was for the same reasons that it was done in 1933 for alcohol, to prevent illegal diversion, to prevent adulteration of the product, and to allow for proper tax collection. And whatever moaning we have about the alcohol system, we've never had poison alcohol. We've never had bad tax collection. We've never had diversion into an illegal market. And all the alcohol that's produced in America gets to the consumers just fine. Now, we represent the largest distributor. 90% of the product they are receiving has to be turned back because it's so thoroughly adulterated with pesticides that it's toxic. Now, the testing that comes with it sometimes says it's fine. Why? Because when you put the chicken, the fox in charge of the hen house, they pick out a little sample, they have that sample tested, it looks good. When you retest it randomly, all of a sudden it's toxic. These guys are going to be in charge of destroying a product which they themselves adulterated. Not going to happen. If we're going to allow any kind of vertical integration, it ought to be a system in which there is independent oversight of a vertically integrated company. With regard to the concept of monopoly, Prop 64 says the state shall not license anyone. This is Prop 64. Shall not license any licensee if it would harm competition or create monopolies. They dropped that and turned it into a study. And why? As the gentleman said, because it's hard. It's a hard analysis. Well, it's not that hard. They better figure out how to do it because that's what the voters told them to do. Now, vertical integration is not in the American economy. Why? Because we broke up those trusts. In the early 1900s, vertical integration is a negative concept. And it's a particular problem for monopoly in marijuana because there's only a limited number of retailers, 2,000. So let's say you're in San Diego and you got 30 dispensaries. A hedge fund's going to come in there in a couple of years. They're just going to buy those guys out, and they'll have 30. They'll own the whole thing in San Diego.
Please wrap up.
Okay. And they will then own the distribution, and they will own the manufacturing. And if they want to keep you out of the market, they can keep you out of the market. And that's the monopoly worry we have. Not the worry that someone wants to do self-delivery, but the worry that we're going to create cartels. Cartels not in the illegal gangland sense, but in the OPEC sense.